You may have heard a scary claim that electric cars flood you with dangerous radiation. Some say driving one is like sitting inside a giant microwave. But is it true? Today, we separate the myths from the real science. The answer might surprise you, and it involves understanding what radiation really is. First, we need to clear up a big misunderstanding about the word radiation. The word radiation sounds frightening, but it simply means energy that travels. And there are two very different kinds. This difference is everything. The first kind is called ionizing radiation. This is the truly dangerous type. It includes X-rays and nuclear radiation, which can damage the cells in your body. This kind has enough energy to break apart the atoms inside you. This is the radiation that comes from nuclear accidents and too many X-rays. But here is the key. Electric cars do not produce this dangerous type at all. The second kind is called non-ionizing radiation, and it is very different. It is far too weak to damage the cells or atoms in your body. This is the kind that comes from everyday things all around you. Your phone, your Wi-Fi, your microwave, and your radio all use it. Even the warm light from the sun is a form of non-ionizing radiation. So when people worry about electric car radiation, this is the type they mean. The same harmless type your household appliances have used for decades. Now the real question is, how much does an electric car actually produce? To answer this, scientists have tested electric cars with special equipment. They measured the electromagnetic fields inside many different vehicles. And the results were actually quite reassuring. The levels inside electric cars were found to be very low. They were well within the safety limits set by health organizations. In fact, the levels were similar to many common household devices. A hair dryer held close to your head can produce a stronger field. So can an induction stove, or even some older appliances. The fields in cars are strongest near the floor, close to the battery and motor. But at seat level where people actually sit, the levels drop significantly. To put this in perspective, let's compare it to your daily life. Standing near a running microwave exposes you to a similar or higher field. Holding a phone to your ear puts a source right against your head. Yet we use these devices every single day without a second thought. The fields from an electric car are simply not unusual or alarming. But where did this fear of electric cars even come from? Part of it comes from the word radiation itself, which sounds scary. Part of it comes from confusion between the two types we discussed. And part of it comes from misinformation spread online. Fear often grows fastest when people do not understand the science. So what do the world's health organizations actually say about this? The World Health Organization has studied electromagnetic fields for decades. They set strict safety limits based on thousands of scientific studies. Electric cars fall far below these limits in every proper test. No credible study has linked electric cars to radiation-related illness. Millions of people drive electric cars every day around the world. And the science continues to be monitored as technology evolves. That is how good science works. It keeps checking, keeps testing. So if you were worried about riding in an electric car, you can relax. But our story does not end here. There is more worth knowing. Because while the radiation myth is false, electric cars do raise real questions. And an honest story should talk about those too. For example, where do the batteries come from? Electric car batteries need metals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Mining these metals has real environmental and human costs. This is a genuine challenge the industry is working to solve. Battery recycling is improving to reduce the need for new mining. And new battery types are being developed with more common materials. Another real question is what happens to old batteries. The good news is that old car batteries can live a second life. When a battery is too weak for a car, it can still store energy for homes. Old batteries can hold solar power and support the electric grid. And after that, most of their materials can be recycled. Another honest question people ask is about charging and electricity. If the power comes from coal, is the car really cleaner? Studies show that even on today's grids, electric cars produce less pollution overall. And as grids get cleaner, electric cars get cleaner with them. A gas car can never get cleaner. An electric car improves every year. These are the real conversations worth having about electric cars. Not imaginary radiation fears, but genuine engineering challenges. Now let's talk about something interesting. Gas cars have their own emissions story. A gasoline car burns fuel right next to you, producing real toxic fumes. These fumes contain chemicals proven to harm human health. Air pollution from traffic affects millions of people in cities every day. So the proven health risk is not the electric car, it is the exhaust pipe. Electric cars produce no exhaust at all, zero fumes from the tailpipe. Cleaner city air means healthier lungs for everyone, especially children. It is one of the strongest health arguments in favor of electric cars. The irony is striking. The feared car is actually the cleaner one. Science often surprises us when we look past our fears. Now let's bust a few more myths you may have heard about electric cars. Myth 1. Sitting on top of a big battery is like sitting on a bomb. In reality, battery packs are heavily protected and rigorously tested. Electric cars actually catch fire far less often than gasoline cars. Myth 2. Electric car fields interfere with pacemakers and implants. Studies found the fields are too weak to affect modern medical devices. Of course, anyone with a medical device should follow their doctor's advice. Myth 3. Wireless charging pads bathe your home in dangerous energy. These pads only activate when the car is parked directly above them, and their fields drop off sharply just a short distance away. So how can you think clearly when you see scary claims online? First, ask, does this claim confuse the two types of radiation? Second, ask, who measured it and how does it compare to safety limits? Third, ask, is this backed by health organizations or just viral posts? Fear spreads faster than facts, especially about new technology. People once feared trains, electricity, and even microwaves in the same way. Every new technology faces the same wave of worry before acceptance. And every time, careful science helped separate real risks from imagined ones. That is exactly what has happened with electric cars. The verdict is clear: the radiation fear is a myth. So if the radiation myth is busted, why does it keep spreading? Because fear gets clicks. Scary headlines spread faster than calm facts. A headline saying electric cars are safe gets far fewer views. But a headline warning of hidden dangers spreads like wildfire. This is how misinformation shapes what millions of people believe. And it is why learning to check facts matters more than ever. The truth is rarely as exciting as the myth, but it is far more useful. Understanding the science protects you from unnecessary fear, and it helps you make smarter choices about the technology you use. Knowledge really is the best defense against fear. Now let's look at where electric cars are headed next. Battery technology is improving at an incredible pace. New batteries charge faster, last longer, and cost less every year. Researchers are developing solid-state batteries with even better safety. Charging stations are spreading to every corner of the map. Soon, charging an electric car may be as quick as a coffee break. And the fields inside cars are tested and regulated as designs evolve. Safety standards keep watch as the technology races forward. The future of driving is being built on science, not fear. And that future is arriving faster than most people realize. As we near the end, let's recap what we have learned today. Radiation is a scary word, but it simply means traveling energy. The dangerous kind, ionizing radiation, does not come from electric cars. The kind they do produce is weak, common, and well within safety limits. Your hair dryer, phone, and microwave produce similar everyday fields. Health organizations around the world confirm these levels are safe. The real proven health risk on our roads is exhaust pollution, not batteries. Electric cars have genuine challenges, like mining and recycling. But invisible radiation harming your body is simply not one of them. That is what the science clearly tells us today. Let us end with the bigger lesson hidden in this story. It is not really just about electric cars. It is about how we handle fear. Every generation faces new technology it does not fully understand. And every generation must choose between fear and understanding. Choosing to learn is what moves us forward as a society. So the next time you hear a scary claim, pause and ask questions. Look for real evidence and trust careful science over viral fear. That habit will protect you far beyond just electric cars. Knowledge turns fear into confidence and confusion into clarity. And that is a lesson worth carrying with you everywhere. So the next time someone tells you electric cars will give you radiation, you will know. You will know the difference between ionizing and non-ionizing energy. You will know that the fields are weak, common, and within safety limits. You will know that the real risk on our roads has always been exhaust fumes. And you will know how to tell science apart from fear. That knowledge is a gift you can share with others too. Because a world with less fear and more understanding is better for everyone. So stay curious, keep asking questions, and always follow the evidence. That is how we move forward together into a smarter future. The truth, as always, is far more reassuring than the myth.